Sally Mann is one of the world's most renowned photographers who fell in love with photography using a film camera given to her by her father. Throughout the years, she shot in black and white and still does to this day. Mann stated in an interview with CBS that she shoots in black and white to get straight to the essence of the photograph and to not be distracted by colors. Mann's use of an older photographic process and black and white film gives her images a dark and yet romantic look. She narrows in on her subjects and makes them the star of the image by creating a beautiful bokeh background. Despite her capturing her everyday family life, she was thoughtful in the way she did so, even if some of those photographs were candid. Here we see Mann's first portrait of her daughter Jessie in the piece Damaged Child, 1984. Here, Jessie's eye can be seen swollen and her face holds an expressionless look. Mann states that her daughter's eye appears as such from a series of bug bites from playing over at a friend's house. This image sparked an outrage as some worried about the girl's safety. They did not know whether the swollen face had come from abuse or a lack of good parenting in general. Nevertheless, Mann began to continue practicing her photography with her children and can be seen in the series Immediate Family and is still one of the most notorious series to date with more controversial images of her children. This image is unique in the sense that it brings up the issue of proof. We can only see the final product, and what's behind the scenes of the photograph are left to one's imagination to interpret. As previously stated before, Mann stated in several sources that her daughter had been over at a friend's house, and while over there, her face had become swollen due to numerous gnat bites. Mann did what most parents do now, document their children's lives through photographs. Except Mann used a large format camera, while most parents nowadays use their cell phones. Mann collaborated with her children to create these images. Whether they were staged or spur of the moment, she captured her life with her children by using her bulky camera. This image, especially being the first portrait, shows the true life event and how Mann turned it into an artistic portraiture. Mann had her daughter stand in the same position the next day after the first photograph was taken, and what we see here is actually a stage photo from the second day. One can see how this image is the story of her daughter arriving home, and this being the first thing that Mann sees as she learns about her daughter's bug bites and swollen face. Mann uses the camera as a tool to show her audience what she saw when her daughter arrived home. With the image in black and white, one can focus on the shape of their daughter's face and to focus on the swollen areas. The contrast between the left and the right side of her face is more prominent. Had the image been in color, one may have focused on the color of the swollen areas rather than the daughter's herself. Another one of her famous works is Candy Cigarette 1989, in which her daughter is posing with a candy cigarette as seen in this photograph. Despite the title and popularity of cigarette candy at the time, the photo struck controversy once again. Some fear that exposing other children to her work may spark an increase in tobacco popularity, while others fear that her daughter's safety and influence would be corrupted, despite the prop being made out of candy. Looking past the controversy, we could see the iconography of this piece. While the children are the subjects in the piece, we could see a path in the background. Perhaps the path is the subject, and the photo represents the route in which children choose to live their lives as they grow older. Or maybe Mann wanted her daughter to look quote unquote older in this photograph with the desired prop. Or perhaps the girl simply wanted to play dress up and look older herself, and that was the candid photo that Mann captured at the moment, with her children playing in the yard. We also see a figure in the background on stilts, possibly representing the high road he chose to take and walks away from her negative influence, while the other girl, possibly her youngest daughter, stands beside her. The other two children in the image are not looking at the camera as well. The girl in the dress is the attention of the photograph, possibly due to the fact that she wanted to be the attention of the photograph herself, wanting to show off her more mature look. What's also interesting to note about this photograph is that the subject is wearing all white and has accessories like a wristwatch on, while the other subjects are dressed in more kid-like clothing. She's even posing as if she were a model or someone of importance with her arms crossed to create a sassy-like appearance. One may get an uneasy vibe of mischief when looking at the girl because of the candy cigarette and the negative connotations that are associated with tobacco products, even if they are fake. One may assume that innocence lost is the theme of this photograph. But again, Mann collaborated with her children, and they, to this day, are happy with the work they created with their mother. Whether her images are controversial or not, one cannot argue that her photographs capture the essence of her family's life in a pure and honest way. Whether her black and white images are of landscapes, people, or just her family, Mann is surely to capture a story unlike any other.